Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're deconstructing what might just be the perfect psychological crime.
You know, we hear the term tossed around constantly these days, but we aren't talking about some simple internet buzzword right now. We're talking about a heist.
Exactly. But in this heist, the vault is your own mind. The weapon they use? It's your trust. And the ultimate prize? Your sanity. So get ready, because we're stripping away all the illusions to reveal the raw, incredibly high-stakes mechanics of gaslighting.
You're imagining things. That never happened.
Can you feel the absolute chill in that statement? It's this incredibly seductive, dangerous paradox. When someone you love, someone you deeply trust, looks you dead in the eyes and completely erase your lived experience with total, unflinching confidence, something truly terrifying happens. You don't just get angry, you get entirely disoriented. It is the visceral horror of having your own memory overridden, not by a random stranger, but by someone who literally holds the keys to your heart.
1,740%. That is the explosive spike in searches for this term that the Merriam-Webster dictionary saw back in 2022. This isn't just an isolated thing. We're looking at a modern epidemic.
But the roots of this dark psychological thriller? They go back much further. It all traces back to a 1938 play called Gaslight. In it, a husband deliberately dims the gas lamps in their house, and when his wife brings it up, he convinces her she's hallucinating. He doesn't just want to hide his crimes, you see. He wants her to believe she has completely lost her mind.
So, to truly understand the mechanics here, we have to isolate the real grain of conflict. A normalized, purely defensive, right? If someone lies about where they were last night, they're really just trying to protect themselves from the consequences of their own actions. But gaslighting? Oh, that is deeply offensive. The manipulator isn't just hiding a mistake. They are intentionally hacking your cognitive coordinates. They want to completely destroy your ability to perceive reality, making absolutely sure that you have to rely entirely on them. Section 1. Anatomy of the hijack.
The paradox of trust.
Now you might be thinking, I'm smart, I'm educated, this could never ever happen to me. But actually, high intelligence offers absolutely zero protection. Why? Because as humans, our brains are biologically and evolutionarily wired for social trust. We fundamentally rely on our close partners to help us verify what is real. Researchers actually call this the epistemic lever.
And the manipulator? They intuitively grab that lever. They use your own beautiful capacity for empathy, connection, and self-reflection as a weapon directly against you. You try to understand their point of view, and they use that exact opening to systematically dismantle yours.
This descent, it doesn't happen overnight. Psychiatrist Ariel Resnick-Martov breaks this terrifying drop down into 3 distinct stages. Stage 1, disbelief. You know you're right, but you're met with this baffling, flat denial.
Stage 2, doubt. The constant pressure mounts. That insidious little question creeps in. Wait, could I actually be wrong?
And finally, stage 3, capitulation. Total psychological surrender. You hand over the steering wheel of your reality entirely to the manipulator,
and they achieve this capitulation through some very specific conversational weapons. It's honestly a masterclass in covert aggression. First, withholding.
Look, I just don't want to hear this.
Countering.
Your memory is terrible. You literally never remember things right.
Trivializing.
You're way too sensitive. You're making a massive deal out of absolutely nothing.
And diverting.
Is this just another crazy idea your friends put in your head?
It is a rapid-fire assault on your certainty.
Section 2. The manipulator's mindset.
And the brain's surrender.
While some people might gaslight occasionally just to dodge trouble, true systematic gaslighting is heavily predicted by the dark tetrad of personality traits. We're looking at 35% Machiavellianism, 30% psychopathy, 20% narcissism, and 15% sadism.
These individuals have this intense need for control, a chilling lack of empathy, and a deep-seated intolerance for ever being wrong. They don't just want to win a casual argument with you. No, they need to dominate your entire reality.
Faced with this relentless manipulation, the victim suffers massive cognitive dissonance. It's the sheer exhausting agony of the gap between what you know happened and what the person you love insists happened. So, to just survive the torture, your brain simply gives up. It employs something called prediction error minimization. To stop the painful, blaring alarm bells of conflict, the brain chooses the path of least resistance and just adopts the manipulator's false reality. It's a desperate act of pure biological survival.
And the toll is intensely physical. That brain fog people talk about, it is entirely biological. Your amygdala becomes hyperactivated, trapping you in a constant, draining state of alarm and anxiety. This then suppresses your prefrontal cortex, stripping away your ability to think logically and make sound decisions. And tragically, the prolonged cortisol exposure literally leads to hippocampal atrophy. That is the physical shrinking of your brain's memory center. So the memory loss, it's completely real, and it is inflicted. Section 3. Battlegrounds beyond the bedroom.
The expanding crime scene.
Prepare yourself for this number. 58%. That is the staggering percentage of people who report experiencing gaslighting in the workplace.
And experts note that when the economy dips and layoffs are looming, this behavior absolutely spikes. Managers become highly territorial, they start rewriting history, completely denying they ever gave certain instructions, and shifting the blame to subordinates just to consolidate their own power. It is survival of the most manipulative.
And this scales up into what researchers call institutional gaslighting. It happens in medicine, where a patient's legitimate, agonizing pain is just dismissed by doctors with a patronizing, "Oh, it's just stress." It happens in the corporate world to ruthlessly shift liability.
And it happens societally, where the lived experiences of marginalized groups are systematically denied.
It is, at its core, epistemic injustice. That's stripping people of their fundamental right to be the authority on their own reality, all to maintain systemic power.
But we absolutely must be precise here. Because the term has exploded in popularity, we're really falling into the therapy speak trap. We are starting to call every single lie or every bad date gaslighting.
Clinical experts warn us that this dilution is incredibly dangerous. If we label a simple disagreement as gaslighting, we mask the predatory severity of actual abuse. And worse, we inadvertently invalidate the experiences of real victims whose realities have been systematically dismantled.
Section 4. Reclaiming your mind.
Building an impenetrable defense.
Okay, here is your tactical defense briefing. First, external validation. Gaslighting thrives in total isolation. You need to get a reality check from outside the relationship.
Second, document reality. Build an external hard drive for your brain. Keep journals, take screenshots.
Third, the gray rock method. If you absolutely must interact, become as emotionally unresponsive and boring as a literal gray rock. Starve them of the reaction they crave.
And finally, stop arguing. Trying to prove you are right to someone who is fully committed to denying the facts, it's a trap designed to keep you engaged. Just disengage completely.
But perhaps the most vital step is inside you. You must end self-gaslighting. Stop asking yourself if you're being too sensitive. Stop silencing your own instincts. That twisting, sinking feeling in your gut, that is not madness. That is a beautifully evolved internal alarm system, and it is actively trying to tell you that a threat is present. Your feelings are the undeniable facts of your psychic life. Honor them.
We've explored the heist, the weapons, and the defense. But ultimately, reclaiming your reality comes down to a single defining choice as you step out of the fog and look at the life you want to rebuild. Whose voice do you trust more? Yours or the one trying to silence it?